afternoon, everybody. We're very lucky today to have with us one of what I would call one of the rising stars of our industry, um, Lloyd Tan, who works at the RAI Amsterdam, and I've had the privilege of getting to know Lloyd through a couple of industry programs, and he's working on some pretty interesting stuff there. So before I sort of take his thunder away, perhaps Lloyd, can you explain a little bit about yourself and what you do at the RAI?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for the introduction and the kind words. But yeah, I can. I started here at the RAI a couple of years back, and I entered the company in the system integrations area. And during Corona, I became the data architect over here. Um, it it so it entails many different topics at this moment, but my main focus is enhancing the customer journeys that we know of, and we recognize well the visitors, but the exhibitors and the organizers as well. And at this current moment, I'm working on the exhibitor part of things.
Fantastic. Thanks, Lloyd. So to sort of follow on from that, then, so if you mentioned you're working on enhancing the experience for your clients that come to the venue, so the exhibitors and so on. Uh,
Yeah.
what does that mean when you talk about enhancing that, and what's the outcome that you're looking for?
All right. So at the RAI Amsterdam, we've already well, for a long time we've had a lot of compliments about how we do as a venue in the physical world, but on the digital world we weren't necessarily the best boy in class or the best kid in class. We weren't necessarily the best kid in class. Um, so what we're trying to do is to provide better touch points with us in the preparation stage of things, and also in finding your way around the ride digitally. Also, we'd like to enhance the matchmaking part, where exhibitors can find visitors better and have better performing relationships in the end. It's all these kind of things that can use a boost, and we're trying to make it as seamless as possible first of all, and then have a better position.
So you were saying about the better position, but it's probably better experience you're looking for, right?
Um, yeah, but also to allow the exhibitor to create a better position for themselves in the market that they're working in, or in the information market, if it's a congress, for example.
That makes sense. That makes sense. From a data analytics perspective, how are you using the data that you have to help drive future decision making for the RAI?
Yeah, so over the years, we've accumulated a lot of data in different applications that we use. And this was great, but it was also kind of a pain because it created many truths for everybody. Everybody's looking in their own siloed data scope. And what we are building right now is actually a platform that brings all this data together. So we have a single source of truth, well, commonly known as, well, either through a data lake or a data warehouse. We have all these processes in place. And from this big box of data, we create reports and we distribute it back over all of the departments that we have. So everybody looks at the same information and the same lessons learned, actually, if you look back to the past. Now, this information can go from internal information. So we talk about HR, how are we doing on performance? Are all of our departments well staffed, not overstaffed, not understaffed? But also, if we look back at the registration process, we can see where people stopped clicking if they are not interested anymore. We can see where the complaints of exhibitors came in, but also where the success stories came in, and what sells really well and what doesn't. And based on all of this, we have the ability now to recommend and serve actually our customers better.
Fantastic. So that's it sounds like you're getting to that holy grail, which is knowing your customer profile a lot better and using that data to be able to best serve them, which is fantastic. Just a final question for you, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Where do you see the needs for technology for venues like the RAI heading in the future?
Yeah, so we've discussed this topic a lot also internally over here because it's always the question, where are we going to move next? Are we going to go for one big application and we use all of their um, resources, or are we going to build a whole loosely coupled infrastructure? And I think the answer, what we found, is that we need a very strong core of data and a data model so that the data will always be intact. What we figured is that the data outlives the application most of the time, and we want to be able to have this data available to us also 50 years from now, let's say. Um, so what is very important is that our main processes should be well provisioned by an application. The core of the data should be available in that area. And everything that is fast shifting and developing quickly these days, like AI or any tools that are just popping out of, well, anywhere right now, it goes really fast. It needs to be able to plug into this core at an easy it needs to plug into this core in an easy way. So you can always go with the wave of technology, but also stay true to what you stand for, which is with your strong core model.
That absolutely makes a ton of sense. So effectively, uh, having an ecosystem that's easy for plug and play, I think makes sense. I think it's again one of those things that I hear a lot that people are looking for that. So. Lloyd, look, thank you very, very much for your insights into these areas. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And a fun fact for everybody that's listening, Lloyd is actually a very accomplished musician. And so if you ever get the chance to meet with him, make sure you get be somewhere where there's a piano where he can play you a couple of songs.
That'd be
Thanks
great.
very
Look
much,
forward
Lloyd.
to it. Thank you.